Now we will discuss about simple present tense. Present tense or simple present tense is used for actions in the present time. Here, the time now is being referred to. Let's see the examples. I go to school by bus. That means here the action that is being referred to is going to school by bus, and this is not an action which refers to a past time or somewhere in the future. This action belongs to the present. That means a student is talking about his or her regular going to school by bus. So I go to school by bus. So obviously this belongs to the present tense. The second example, these children speak English fluently. Again, the form of verb speak here tells you that the action belongs to the present scenario, that is present tense. The third example again, the sun rises in the east. Now you see here, this is a truth. This is a practical truth. This is a universal truth that every day the sun rises in the east. So again, the form of verb rises tells you that here the speaker talks about the action that's taking place in the present. The sun rises in the east. So the form of verbs go, speak, and rises indicate that these sentences are in simple present tense form. Now let's know how to form simple present tense. With first person, that is I and we, with the second person, that is you, and the third person, plural subjects, they, all other plural subjects, we use the first or root form of the verb. Now let's have a look at the following examples. I pray, we read, you teach, they walk, boys jump. So this is how we are forming the simple present tense. With the first person I and we, with the second person you, and the third person they, and other plural subjects, we use the first or root form of the verb. Pray, read, teach, walk, jump. These are the examples. So we are using the first person, second person, third person, and other plural subjects along with the first or root form of the verbs. Further, with third person singular subjects, he, she, it, all other singular subjects, we add s or es to the first or root form of the verb. Let's look at the examples given below. Now you see the third person singular subjects, he, she, it. So with these third person singular subjects, he, she, it, and all other singular subjects, we add the root form of the verb, and to that root form of the verb we add s at the end or es at the end. So let's see how it gets formed. He prays. So here you see the third person singular subject e gets joined with this another form of verb pray, pray, and to that we have added s at the end. So it's he prays. Then another third person singular subject she goes with teach, teach, another first or root form of verb to which has been added es at the end. Another third person singular subject it, which goes with move, and at the end we have added s. And the other singular subject John, which goes with jump, and we have added s. So John jumps. So it's he prays, she teaches, it moves, John jumps. In negative sentences, we use the following patterns. As already said, what are negative sentences? I had told you that sentences which have words like no, not, nothing, and never are called negative sentences. Now let's see what patterns are followed herein in the formation of negative sentences. There are two patterns that are to be followed here to form negative sentences. The first pattern, I, we, you, they, and all other plural subjects plus do not plus first or root form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. This is the first pattern. And the second pattern is he, she, it, all other singular subjects plus does not plus first or root form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. Right? Now let's look at the examples given below. I do not go to school by bus. I do not go to school by bus. That means here we have followed the first pattern to form the negative sentence. I plus do not plus first or root form of the verb. See, I plus do not plus first or root form of the verb, that is go, plus the rest of the sentence. Hence, forming I do not go to school by bus. Let's see the second example. He does not live near my house. Now this has been formed following the second pattern. Let's see. He plus does not plus first or root form of the verb, that is live, plus rest of the sentence, that is near my house. Hence forming a negative sentence, he does not live near my house. Now let's see another example. Mona does not have any new pair of jeans. Again, the subject we have added here, Mona, plus does not plus have, that is the first or root form of the verb have, plus the rest of the sentence, any new pair of jeans. Hence forming the negative sentence, Mona does not have any new pair of jeans. So in all these sentences, the presence of do not, does not, no, not, nothing, never, the presence of these makes a sentence negative. Please note that do not is shortened as don't and does not is shortened as doesn't. So here we have known that the presence of do not, does not, no, never, all these makes a sentence negative. Now let's have a look at the formation of the interrogative sentences with respect to simple present tense. We all know what are interrogative sentences. I've already explained to you that sentences which ask questions and end with a question mark are called interrogative sentences. Now, how do we form interrogative sentences with respect to simple present tense? In case of interrogative sentences beginning with a question word, that is, you have to begin the sentences with a question word. What, why, when, how, whose, who, etc. And let's see the pattern. Question word plus do or does plus subject plus first or root form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. And at the end, question mark or mark of interrogation. Let's look at two examples to understand this concept well. The first example, why do you keep the window closed? So here we start with the question word why plus do plus the subject you plus first or root form of the verb keep the window closed, the rest of the sentence. So we have put together, it is why do you keep the window closed? That is, once again I am explaining the first one, the question word why plus do plus the subject you plus the first or root form of the verb keep plus the rest of the sentence, the window closed plus the question mark. So it's now an interrogative sentence, why do you keep the window closed? And it refers to simple present tense. Now, second example, where does Vinod live? There is an inquiry about a person called Vinod and where he lives. So again, it begins with a question word where plus does plus a subject Vinod plus the first or root form of the verb live, and then since we don't have the rest of the sentence, so we have added the question mark ultimately, and that forms an interrogative sentence with respect to simple present tense. Now let's know where to use simple present tense. We use simple present tense to indicate a present action or an action that takes place regularly. So try and understand here, we actually use simple present tense to indicate a present action which is currently happening or an action that takes place regularly every day or every time. Let's look at some examples. The first example, they play in the field. So this is, you see, this is a present action and this action takes place regularly. They keep on playing in the field. So considering the form of the verb play, we know that this is simple present tense. And this is simple present tense because here we come across an action that takes place regularly. The second example again, the boy reads loudly. That means this boy is used to reading loudly, and again this is an action that takes place regularly. Whenever the boy reads, he reads loudly. Hence, this also gives us an indication that this particular sentence is in simple present tense form. Simple present tense is also used to express universal truth, principle, or proverb. For example, the earth moves round the sun. This is a universal truth that the earth moves round the sun. Again, number B, stars shine at night. This is again a universal truth and also a principle that stars do shine at night. So, simple present tense is also used to express universal truths and principles and proverbs in this way. Now, coming to the next point, simple present tense, as already said, also is used to express actions done as a matter of habit. It talks about actions in a general way. He drinks tea every morning. I meet him at the bus stop every day. So here we find two forms of verbs. The first example, he drinks tea every morning. Again, this is a general way, an action which happens repeatedly. Every day he has a habit of drinking tea. And the second example again, I meet him at the bus stop every day. Now again, this is an action which is being repeatedly done. So these two examples, however, show that simple present tense also can be expressed this way. To express actions done as a matter of habit, simple present tense can be used. Simple present tense is also used to express order, request, or instructions. Let's see the examples. Example number A, please do the work. In this example, we find somebody requesting someone to do the work. In number B, give me the pen. Again, we find somebody ordering, give me the pen. So here we find that simple present tense also can be used to express requests like please do the work or orders like give me the pen. Now, next, simple present tense can also be used to express near future. For example, the office reopens tomorrow, or father starts for Kolkata in the morning. So this is an action that is just going to happen, or something which needs to be expressed, an action very near to future, and this needs to be expressed. So simple present tense is also used to express near future about actions that are going to happen very recently. Like in number A and number B example, we found that in the first example, the office is very likely to reopen the next day, and the second example, father is very likely to leave to start his journey in the next morning. Now, simple present tense also is used to express a vivid description as a substitute for the past tense, that is called historical present. Let's see the following examples. Ashoka is a great king. Porus now leads the army against Alexander. So these examples show how simple present tense can be used to express a vivid description as a substitute for the past tense, also called historical present. Please note, students, that we often use words like usually, always, generally, every day, never, often, and sometimes with simple present tense.